What's up, everyone? I'm Ryan Yun, and welcome inside the Villainz Lair. We are talking about last night's insane Darth Maul Shadow Lord season finale. Through 10 episodes, I wasn't sure, we were going to get this ultimate payoff, but man, what the people at Lucasfilm and Disney did with this finale was it just blew away all of my expectations. Now, 10 episodes in the making, like we said, there was plenty of story building, world building, character development, whether it was the two Jedi characters, Davin and Master Daki, played by Gideon Adlon and Dennis Haysbert, Oscar nominee Wagner Mora playing the Commander Brandon Lawson. Either way, there was a lot of depth to this cast and what was happening in this series. So over the course of the 9 episodes, so many cool moments with Maul, who was voiced by the veteran Sam Witwer. You knew him from previous iterations in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and even got to voice Darth Maul in that really, really cool cameo at the end of Han Solo. So you get so many cool standout moments from Maul, not just moments that kind of show, added depth to, his personality and sort of, how he sees the greater Star Wars universe, but moments where he gets the Darth Vader Rogue One homage scene in the hallway where he gets to cut down, a group of troops, similar to what Darth Vader did in Rogue One. And honestly, a little bit of foreshadowing for what we were about to see in this finale. But before we even get to the finale, we have to talk about that incredible action sequence at the end of episode 9, which featured Maul and his gang, the Jedi characters, the two Inquisitors who were attacking them, and a gang of stormtroopers. It was one of the best action sequences I've ever seen in any Star Wars medium, whether animated or live action. And it didn't come without consequences. Maul losing about half of his gang or more, and they're barely able to escape. We get some really cool lightsaber action. We get some really fun stuff with the droid characters. Even after all those casualties, Maul and the Jedi are able to escape, but not for long, because at the very end, a couple of Maul's gang members go off ahead, and you hear some of that familiar breathing in the background, and then they come out, and like the boogeyman, he like whisks them away with the Force and steps out of the shadows, and you get the first look at a newly formed Darth Vader, who is, no voice needed. Obviously, this was pure aura farming Darth Vader at his most menacing, very, very similar to what we saw at the end of Rogue One. And the season penultimate episode, season 9 episode, ends with him coming out of the shadows and Maul and the two Jedi characters seeing him for the first time. So many fun callbacks to Rogue One. I can't say it enough. There's just so many cool moments. And they don't know who this is. They have no familiarity. The last time Maul saw him, he was the little boy Anakin, and he had not yet fully realized his potential as Darth Vader. But in this scene, Vader is completely ruthless, using the lightsaber. The battles between like a 1v3 here, amazing. He's able to block the blasters. These are 3 characters that are Force sensitive, with Maul and the two Jedi, and Vader just shoves them aside. Such a cool moment. This has been 25 years in the making. We've been waiting for this, since Phantom Menace, since we knew that he would eventually become this. We didn't know Maul would survive the Phantom Menace like he did, but once he was ready to also turn on Palpatine, it felt like only a matter of time before Darth Vader was sent out to handle Darth Maul. And what a cool moment. Off the charts if you're a geek, what you're seeing in this episode. So throughout this series, Maul has been sort of coaxing the Jedi Devon into maybe embracing her rage side and sort of embracing the darker side and turning that way, while Master Daki, was telling her to stay calm in these situations, and that's not what they needed. But as this fight progressed and as she fought the Inquisitors more, and then eventually seeing her master slain by Darth Vader, she went full rage monster, and you get to see Maul sort of relishing in seeing her turn to the darker side of things, right? And it's almost felt like it's been his play the entire series. So many cool moments throughout this battle sequence with Vader feeling like the boogeyman. I mean, stepping through walls, cutting down Jedi. At one point, Master Daki lands a clean blow on Vader for the first time, and he just shrugs it off and just becomes more violent, and he just strikes and strikes and strikes until he gets that fatal blow on Daki. And that's what Devon sees in the aftermath of, with the saber through his chest, and is able to turn her. And while they're able to fight off Darth Vader and eventually escape, they don't stop him or kill Vader. They don't seek that revenge, but in that final sequence, she's ready, and Maul offers her the chance for him to train her and for them to get their revenge. And that's what we're looking forward to in season 2. Now, there's no telling when we could get a season 2. Obviously, to leave with such a crazy cliffhanger like that, it's definitely in the works. So, much like X-Men 97, we're going to have to wait a while, and we are just going to have to probably rewatch the season a couple times just to kind of fill the void after 10 episodes. They did several drops where it was 2 episodes a week, and you got a lot of content every week. And so until we get that season 2, we just have to fill that void in a bunch of different ways. So for this season, for me, just as a whole, I mean, I don't know how you don't. I mean, 9.9, 10. I give it a perfect rate. I'm going to give it a perfect rating. 10 out of 10. No notes. I cannot wait. The animation is beautiful. I can't wait for more of this. The action, the world building, the character development, all of it was just so great in season 1. And we look forward to season 2, and we'll have all the reactions. Once we do get a season 2, we'll have all the news leading up to it. Remember, you can catch us in the Villainz Lair Monday through Friday. New episodes dropping on weekdays, and we'll just wait for news. We'll wait for promo art. We'll wait for a trailer and maybe a poster, and then we'll get that season 2. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.